So, hi all. My name is Harshit, and I'm a first year student at IIM Trichy. So, today I am going to be talking about some of the global risk factors which may have the potential to, wipe out the uh, wipe out not wipe out like have a major impact and have a detrimental impact on the human lives. So among those topics, the ones which seemed important to me were human made disasters, environmental disasters, natural disasters, and of course infectious diseases. So I'll start with an example for a human made environmental disaster. So, in a port, so shipping is an important part of a supply chain in any given business. So, when a ship arrives at a port, it has to be accommodating that ship by having enough depth so that it enters the port easily. For this, the major requirement is the depth. So, dredging, a process called dredging is done in order to remove excess amount of sand or gravel inside the port water. Uh, and when this is done, one of the major impacts it has is on the oceanic ecosystem. So this perpetuates into it affects the fishes, which may be the fishermen are dependent on the fish. So it becomes a cycle. So the lives of fishermen are dependent on it. So next, moving on to natural disasters, we have the example of Australian bushfires, etc., and floods that happened recently in Assam. So next, moving on to infectious diseases, we all know about the coronavirus and what impact it has had on the economy of not only India but the whole world. So, in a supply chain in any given business, the important parts are demand forecasting, maybe sourcing, procurement of materials, manufacturing, or even transportation of the manufactured goods to retailers and customers. So, one major thing that I noted here was China is a manufacturing hub because of low labor cost. Many countries like USA, and European countries, they outsource manufacturing to China. So what coronavirus did was uh, it cut off, like there was a bottleneck created in the manufacturing sector. So when there was a bottleneck in the manufacturing sector, the processes downstream to it, like transportation and customer service, all these things got affected. What happened? So the people involved in the transportation business were affected. So they lost jobs. So they lost businesses. Next, people were not able to get the goods they wanted. So they were not able to pay money to the companies. So the revenues of the companies got hit. After this, when the revenues got hit, their ability to reinvest it in their business got hit naturally. So this completes that vicious cycle. So the major three factors that I mentioned before, the risk factors, all of these have almost the same impact on the supply chain. So regarding this, the major points of suggestion, like for improvement from my side, would be foremost would be sustainable development, so that the companies which are involved in the manufacturing or maybe any sector should plan accordingly, so that the resources that they use now should not have a detrimental effect on the future generations to come. Secondly, government intervention in the form of policies has to play a very major role. So, for example, the environmental impact assessment, there was a amendment in the bill in 2020. So that, according to certain environmentalists, it weakens the public opinion in public raising their voice against the degradation happening in their environment. So all these things, there are these things which have a negative impact has to be reduced, so that the degradation to the environment or ecosystem reduces drastically. The last suggestion would be that government think tanks like Niti Aayog, etc., they are already hiring interns. So I would like to suggest that this has to happen in a greater scale, larger scale, so that people from IITs, IIMs can take part in decision making and work for the Indian government. This also helps in avoiding the brain drain that is happening from India. Thank you.